welcome to my channel, Takayaki Tarot. Today is February 10th, Monday, 2025. So this is my second reading of the day. I have one up earlier today. So this is my second one. So before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you, gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. So, I'm going to start pulling some cards. And go from there. So, I didn't open this yet.
I tried to.
This you cannot drink, baby girl. I gave you some water. Do you want water, milk, or juice?
Milk.
Okay, hold on. Alright, she's got her drink. I got my drink. We're good. Jeez. How did she hear that in the other room? What the heck? She's got like supersonic hearing or something. That's kind of good. You know what this tastes like? This tastes like the watermelon or cherry Jolly Ranchers. It's the watermelon Red Bull. This would taste good like as a popsicle or like little. I should just get watermelon Jolly Ranchers because that's literally what it tastes like liquefied Jolly Ranchers. That's pretty good. A little too good. Where's my phone? Hold on. Alright. Yeah, that's a little too good. So let's start pulling cords. Let me sage that because wow, this card like never, ever, ever, ever comes out. I don't think I've ever seen this card come out, actually. Of all the cards, there's so many of them that I have not seen come out willingly. I'm hearing not yet. So there's a lot of these that I have not seen yet. Crystals and herbs. Oh, what medicine. What sacredness to behold. A dash of healing straight from mother's home. So right off the bat, I'm getting the womb. She's fine. Right off the bat, I'm getting womb, right? And earlier's reading, I was getting the term womb raider, right? A womb raider. She's fine. Like somebody wants to steal what magic you hold in your womb or your ability to hold anything in your womb. 424. Someone wants to disrupt your womb, take away your womb, corrupt your womb, all right? That's basically the energy that is hovering, I guess. Okay? And it's impossible. You know what I was also getting? The Ark of the Covenant, the Ark. And that's basically, depending on what you believe, right? it's basically just a big like data bank of DNA. Okay, the arc. I'm not gonna get into that, but so your womb is where you can like create, like, you know, eggs fertilize and then it grows into the womb. So you're growing something in your womb, you know, and it has to do with your, obviously it would be your DNA would be involved, and you know, but the first thing that I was getting was your womb. So a lot of you have healed something in your lineage. So your womb is healed. Your womb is doing, it's where it needs to be, where it's supposed to be. It's like your womb is like, yes, you can have babies and blah, blah, whatever, but your womb is like, it's more than that now. 555. That's the second time I've seen 555 today. I seen it 555 like on the regular clock, and then 555 just now. Something about your womb, like you healed something in your genetic line, your DNA, right? And I feel like for a lot of you, this, I feel like, honestly, to be honest with you, no shade to divine masculine. Why was I gonna say Damascus? Wow, Damascus. Ooh, the plot thickens. How interesting. All right, yeah, I was gonna no shade to divine masculines, right? You got your own thing, right? So this would be for divine feminines, right? Your womb, a lot of you divine feminines, women, have healed your trauma, your pain, your suffering, your torment, your, you know, sadness, your grief, your bitterness, your resentments, blah, blah, blah. And it's helped heal your womb, you know. And to be honest too, like, a lot of trauma it's held and within like the hips area, like the solar plexus area, the hips, a little bit of the base, or is it the base root base? So it would be the base, right? The base solar. A lot of trauma is stored in like those hips areas. That's why a lot of people have like lower back pains. It's, you know, I'm not gonna get into that either. But so anyway, so a lot of women, divine feminines, empresses, have been healing themselves, right? And without realizing it, you're opening your womb up to like its sacred potential, right? So yes, you can have babies, blah, blah, right? That's great, but now you can do more than that, right? Which is divine feminine, that majestic manifesting energy, right? Yes, you can have babies and you can create babies, but you can also create your manifestations and bring them into will, and it's whatever you want. You can literally create it inside of you and birth it, right? Some of you could be birthing a baby or an idea, a will, a passion, a desire, a wish, right? And it's a lot of it is because you've been healing that, right? People don't realize that because a lot of trauma is stored within like that hips area, it kind of corrupts, you know, the actual potential that can be. Yes, you can have babies, great, congratulations, amazing, wonderful, right? Yes, but you can do so much more with that as well. And that's why you have a lot of men, karmic men, walking around hating women, because even some of those karmic men know a lot of those karmic men that be hating on women for no reason and that are in competition with women. The reason why is because a lot of those men, they cannot do what a woman can do when it comes to the womb, because they don't have a womb, which is create miracles, manifesting, right? They can literally birth that stuff. And a lot of those karmic men would make sure that those women that can do that, they can't do that. So they'll compete and they'll tear them down and they'll play games and then do this and blah, 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 right? So, well, if I can't manifest because I don't have a womb, then I'll make sure you can't either. All right, so that's that. So, earlier's reading, I was talking about, what is this? I was talking about a petty woman who wanted to steal something from you, like, and it was, the card that came out was spiritually fertile, right? So, and in the beginning of this reading, I was talking about how there's like this energy that's hovering about like a womb raider. But I feel like a lot of divine feminines, you've been healing, doing the work, and cleaning up house is what I'm getting to. And you've been unlocking certain things in your genetic bloodline, your genetic DNA, that allows for this new era of your lineage to take hold, right? I don't want to be that person, right? Because people be like, oh, gender is fluid, tarot's fluid, well, which is true, yeah. But I do feel like this reading here, like, I have some readings that are specifically for divine masculines, and then I have some readings that are, right? So, if you feel some type of way, then you know where you stand, right? Because if you can't be supportive, then you're just a hater. And if you're a hater, then why are you a hater? There's a reason behind that. But this is really for divine feminines. It could be for divine masculines too. Instead of just making babies, you can, like, I don't know if you know this, but it's the egg that chooses the sperm. I don't know if you know that, right? So I'm gonna let that sink. All right, it's the egg that chooses the sperm, and there's been articles proving that, so you can look it up too. So if your egg is choosing rotten sperm, your spirit is probably rotten. You know, Alright, let me move on. So yeah, crystals and herbs. Oh, what medicine, what sacredness to behold. A dash of healing straight from mother's home. A lot of you could be mothers. A lot of you could be becoming mothers, wanting to become mothers, are going to become mothers. But this is really, whether you're a mother right now, or your kids are grown up, or you're a maiden, whether you're a maiden, mother, crone, put it like that. And I really don't like to involve others, you know, into this when I do my readings, but whether you're a maiden, mother, crone, I'll say it again, it's just about healing that divine, feminine, nurturing mother empress, right? Whether it was inflicted on your mother, right? It's just really healing those deep, eternal mother wounds, right? So it doesn't affect your womb. You hear those mother wounds, so it doesn't affect your womb, right? I did see 1, 2, 3, 4, by the way. All right, let me move on. And I feel like for a lot of you, you guys have been going to work healing. I'm hearing what could not be healed before. So a lot of you women, divine feminines, are healing things that your mother couldn't heal, your mother's mother couldn't heal, your great-great-grandmother's mother, your great-great-great-grandmother couldn't heal. You're healing things that the women in your family never thought could be healed from. It's just what it is. You know, it's just, these are things that we just have to deal with. So you could have been the one like, no, but that's not what I want for me. That's not how I want it to be. I don't want that. I don't accept that. I won't allow that. So it will not be. And because you women, divine feminines, you stepped into that role, that power of yours to do that, to say that, to will that, that's what you've been doing. That's that healing. And it's for some reason, it could be because of patriarchal, misogynistic views, whatever the case it is, willpower, strength, bravery, courageousness, determination, faith, right? It was just seen as something that couldn't be done. It's just something that can't be done. Healing from the wounds caused by our mothers, you just live with it. You just live with it. But I don't want to live with that. Why do I have to? Why should I? I don't want my child to live with that. She shouldn't have to, or he shouldn't have to, right? So I feel like you guys have been, divine feminines have been healing from, I like this reading, from things that, I feel like, it's not really that it couldn't be done. It was just more like people were just complacent. That's just the way it is. You know, things, that's just, I'm saying the song again. It is what it is, right? Like, let's say, for example, like everybody in your family for years and years and years and years, they walked to work, right? And they were just like, well, that's just how we do it. And you're like, well, I don't want to walk. I want to take the bus to work, or I want to drive a car to work. I want to do that. So you did that. It's like something so simple seems so far-fetched, impossible. What do you mean? What do you mean you're taking the bus to work? What do you mean you're driving to work? What do you mean you're not walking? But everybody's walked. Everybody before us walked. What do you mean you're walking? Well, it's cold. I don't want to walk. It's hot. I don't want to walk. Right? I have all these bags with me. I don't want to walk. Right? There could also be something about baggage, having to carry baggage. I'm getting this thing. I seen this video. There's like 3 cups or something, right? The first cup was like really, it was like filled with like really, really dark black water. And then the second cup was like medium. So, no, the first 2 were like clear, right? And then the first cup was like filled with dark black water. And then that cup poured into the second cup. So that cup went from being clear water to dark black water. And that second cup, right, poured into that third cup. And of course, but that third cup, instead of pouring into the fourth cup, they just kept running themselves under the water until eventually all that dark and that muckness and that negativity washed out. And then when they were clear again, they poured into the fourth cup. So you stopped something from being poured into you, or from you, whatever was poured into you, you stopped it so it doesn't get poured into the next generation, right? Again, you've been healing mother wounds so it doesn't affect your womb. I like that. I think I'm going to make that as my, I should write that down before I forget, because I will forget. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Isn't that an Indiana Jones movie? So you got people, I've been getting this thing in my reading earlier today. Whew. It was like somebody was trying to like raid, like be a womb raider, right? And then I also mentioned something about just today in this reading about how like the Ark is like a big, listen, all right, this is not up for debate, so don't be commenting, because I don't care about that. It's like a big data bank of DNA. All right, so Ark, data bank of DNA, womb raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, so you have people in your family that, by allowing this negativity to affect their womb, or the women in your family. So you have women in your family, in your lineage, whether they are dead or alive, that has allowed these traumas, these pains, these resentments, these hurts to affect their womb. And it's kind of like over time it like altered their DNA to where, not really altered it, but it's kind of like they lost access to something, right? That it's naturally in their DNA. So it's naturally in their DNA to be able to connect with the Most High God. Naturally in their DNA to be able to have gifts. Whether it be clairvoyance, clairaudio, clairsentience, clair whatever, blah blah blah, any of the clairs, right? Or they could be like a prophet or a prophetess, right? But a prophetess, so it would be like a woman. Or they could just be claircognizant. Oh, that was another one, right? Okay. Or have dreams, or very like their intuition's like on point, right? Because of this, their wombs have been so darkly affected by their mother wounds. They like kind of lost this part of their DNA. Not that it's been taken from them, but they just lost access to it. And I feel like in earlier reading today, it was a petty woman that came out that was trying to steal something from you because of your spiritually fertile. So for some of you, this could be a woman in your family that is trying to take this spiritually fertileness of yours, this ability in your womb that you have, or trying to corrupt your womb because they lost access to that. You see what I'm saying? This could be somebody in your family that's like feels some type of way because it's like, I picked up on this before too, because you're not settling for that kind of disappointment in life, that 1919, or that pain and that suffering and that misery in life. You're not settling for that, because you know if you settle for that, you can kiss your gifts goodbye, you can kiss your abundance goodbye, you can kiss your manifestations goodbye, because you cannot have a heavy heart if you want to receive the blessings of the Most High God. You cannot have a heavy heart if you want to be able to be light as a feather and be happy and be at peace with yourself. You cannot. You cannot have a heavy heart. And you chose not to. You're like, I don't want a heavy heart. That weighs a lot. That's weighing me down. That's turning my back. I gotta put that down. So you put it down. That's exactly what God said. Just put it down. But you could have had women in your family that's like, it's just not easy putting that down. It's just, my mom couldn't do it, and it's just my job, it's my responsibility. But it's like, but it's not. It's not your pain. It's not your suffering. It's not your trauma. It's not your responsibility to carry the baggage and the burdens of your mother, your mother's mother, your grandmother's, your great-grandmother's. Put it down. It's 2025. Put it down. Put it down. I'm just like, I don't really need to be pulling cards, but like, I'm just doing it so you guys can understand, like, I'm not talking for shits and giggles. Now I'm getting irritated. Alright, so yeah, family room reverse. Yeah, these are people in your family, women in your family that, well, it's complicated. You wouldn't understand, you're a child. But meanwhile, this adult in their 80s and their 70s is talking to you. You could be in your 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. You're an adult too, but it's like, are you talking to a 9-year-old child? Like, what are you saying? Like, what do you mean it's not easy? It's not yours. Put it down, right? It's like they want to be like, why would you, I don't know, it's kind of like they want to be like, hear ye, I am the burden, I'm holding the burdens and the responsibilities and the baggage of the women in the family. And it's like, why would you be proud of that? That's not tiring? You're not exhausted? That doesn't hurt your back? Like, put it down. Like, nobody's applauding you because you're willingly holding on to the burdens and the baggage of the women in your family for years and years and years. Nobody cares. Nobody's applauding you. If anything, it's just like, oh, because people want healing, people want inspiration, people want movement, people want to go forward, people want manifestations, right? People want to believe, people want hope, people want love. And this, like, and these are the women, these could be women in your family that's like, you healed? What? I didn't know you could do that. Yes. You can do that. That's a choice that you can make. You can make it. I did see a mature man on the bottom of the deck. I think it was upright. I'm not sure. I swear, this tastes like a liquid cherry Jolly Rancher. I really shouldn't be drinking these because these are not good. This is the watermelon one. I think this is like a limited edition flavor though. Yes, pumpkin pie. Alright, let me see. I'll get 2 more. Mature man. Oh wow, that's funny. Came out upright. I feel like I'm getting 2 things. For some of you, there could be a mature man in your family that's watching this. You healing, right? They're kind of just like on standby, just watching. Like, I have to burp. It's the drink. They're just like watching you go through this transformation, healing journey, blah, 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 right? But the second thing I'm getting, someone could also have like a lisp as well. But the second thing that I'm getting is that a lot of the reason why these women in your family have trauma, pain, suffering, and bitterness and anger is because of a man in their family. So women in your family have, or women in your family, it's actually really sad though when you think about it. Women in your family, if this doesn't resonate, then it doesn't resonate. So don't be like, oh, right, because I don't. If it does resonate, then listen to what I'm about to say. So women in your family could have, there's like a history or always, like, yeah, it happened to my mom or it happened to my aunt or it happened to my whatever, right? But it's like the women in your family always have some sort of pain and suffering and trauma put onto them by men. Whether it be brothers, cousins, uncles, fathers, husbands, boyfriends, they always have some sort of similar story where they've been abused, used, and neglected, and, you know, lied to, and hurt, and traumatized, and betrayed, and blah, by men. And for a lot of these women, it was like their father, or like their partner. But I feel like that's, you know, it may not even be just your family. I feel like women in general, in the whole world, right? This new age of women, like, we're not standing up for that. Like, we're not with the shits. we're just not, you know, we're just not. Right? We're our mother's daughters, but we're not. This is not the era for women to just, like, sit back and stay silent and, like, let it, you know, cry over the pain and the trauma and the suffering. No. Women are going to get up and do something about it. They're going to heal. They're going to fight back. They're going to stand up. They're going to say their piece. They're going to make sure their voice is heard. They're not. And I feel like there are men that there's nothing that can be done. They can't just, you know, cause pain, suffering, and nothing, and then, you know, everything's, you know, just sweep it under the rug kind of energy, right? That's kind of, that, like, I was kind of getting that earlier, like, oh, well, you know, it is what it is, you know, just, that's just how it is. And this is like, but why do you have to sweep it under the rug? This thing happened. Speak up. Say something. Well, no, because confrontation and drama, you know, so we just go on about it. And that's not flying anymore. That's not flying anymore. So you could be in those family where there's like, every woman in your family has a story to tell about a man, right? Whether that man abused her, whether he was mean, he neglected her, or like their father was very, like, absent and never caring, and whatever kind of trauma this is, right? And that's not flying anymore. And that holding on to that kind of trauma, stress, bitterness, resentment, anger, frustration, it really, really does affect your genetics. It does. In more than one ways. And it's not good. And a lot of that trauma, it stays trapped in the hips, the lower back area, the solar plexus, right? So that's what I'm saying too. Like, I made that comment earlier about how the egg chooses the sperm. So if your eggs are not good, if your eggs are stressed out, it's going to choose a really crappy piece of sperm just because, oh, fine, just whatever, just you. I choose you because your eggs are stressed out. Your eggs don't, you know? And then the whole pregnancy is stressful, and it's just like one thing after another, you know? Versus like when you're healed and you're like more relaxed, right? And you have like you'll notice a difference between like women who have had stressful pregnancies. They tend to have a little bit more iffy relationship with their babies or children versus women who had the time and the luxury to enjoy their pregnancy, right? They're able to connect more with their, listen, there's articles on this. I'm not just talking shits and giggles. All right, there's articles on this. Women who have had the luxury to enjoy their pregnancy are able to enjoy the bonding and connect with their babies more, and it also helps with postpartum. I'm not saying it eliminates it, but it helps with it, right? Because if you have a stressful pregnancy and then your baby's here, you're like, oh, and then add postpartum on top of that, it makes you want to like detach emotionally. When it's that very moment where it's the most vital moment for you to be my baby, right? I'm not laughing because I don't think it's funny, but it's just, you know. So I feel like a lot of women they're not with the shits anymore. Like, they're healing, and you're not your mom, you're not your grandmother, you're not your aunt, you're not your sister, you're not your godmother, you're not none of that. Like, you're not doing what they did before, and you're gonna heal, because you're not about to be repeating those cycles. You're just not. And I feel like because you're going forward with this healing journey and healing your wounds so it doesn't affect your womb, you've got women around you that are being very petty and very snarky because they had the chance and they didn't. So now they want to be feeling some type of way and now they want to like take something from you. And it's like, sir, ma'am, you had every opportunity available to you to heal, and you didn't. And it's like, you probably didn't think that was an option, but it is. And now you're mad at those women, the newer generations, because they are healing, and you're seeing, wow, that's... I feel like they're seeing you as like, wow, I could have had that. I did see 323. They're seeing you as like, wow, you mean to tell me I could have had that if I healed as well? Yeah, what are you talking about? That's why you were being told to heal. That was the whole point. There was no illusion, no magic tricks. That's it. Heal and receive blessings. Don't heal and stay in karmic lessons. That's it. There was no smoke and mirrors about it. But I feel like there's women in your family that are watching this. Envious of children. Steals their innocence. Wow. I feel like for a lot of you, there could be, and I should put a trigger warning on this video. You could have had women in your family that has a story about something that happened to them when they were left alone with that one uncle or that one father or that one man or that one cousin or whatever the case it is. They all have a story to tell. It's actually very, very sad. Very sad, to be honest with you. I feel like also too, there are women in your family that are watching you through your healing journey, but I made a comment earlier about how like they're adults and they're telling you, oh, you wouldn't understand, because like if you're saying, oh, why didn't you like just drop, like I'm just saying just drop it, it's 2025, you don't need to be holding on to those burdens and pains above, right? Just drop it. So these women could be like, oh, you wouldn't understand, it's complicated, you're just a child. But you're not 9 years old, you're a grown adult, right? And you're having an adult conversation. But I feel like these women in your family are looking at you like you're being naive, but it's like they're just feeling some type of way because through all of that you can be a wife, a mother, an adult, and still keep that innocence, right? You didn't lose something, and you're still able to manifest and create that miracle. Those miracles. Here's the thing too. In the Bible, God talks about how like you have to keep that childlike wonder to help create miracles. Why do you think God is saying that? Why do you think God is making that such an important part? Right? Imagination, right? It's very important. You can just create, right? If you can like. Also, be careful of women around you and your family. For some of you, this could be men too. Like, there could be men in your family that tries to do this, but there could be women in your family that's trying to make it seem like you're naive and you don't know what you're doing. They're trying to, like, kill that innocence in you, right? That could be what they want to take. Your innocence, your childlike wonder, because it's part of that is like, yeah, I'm getting annoyed now. See, the thing is, like, with kids, right? Kids, they bounce back so fast. They heal fast. They bounce back fast. You know, they go from crying to laughing, crying to laughing, crying. Like, kids go through, like, so many emotions within an hour, right? So you could have the ability to, like, you get hurt, you bounce back, you heal, you're laughing. You get hurt, you bounce back, you heal, you're laughing. You have that ability. And there's, like, women in your family that they don't like that. Spirit baby came out. Yeah, there's something about your womb. Either you're a spirit baby, or some of you are going to have a very, very special baby. For some of you, you are this special baby, right? It's like a chosen one. Or you have very special children, or you're gonna have a very special baby. My baby. My baby says mama. There's this video, forget it. Repeating cycles, family secrets. I feel like for a lot of you, these cycles have to do, I really got to put a trigger warning on this. I feel like for a lot of you, these family secrets and family cycles have to do with like women or men too, right? Like there's always a story about someone getting touched inappropriately as a child, always, and then nobody talks about it, gets swept under the rug, right? And then the next generation, it happens again, nobody talks about it, it's always something very traumatic, always something very like, wow, that really happened, like wow, and nobody talks about it, right? Cycles, family secrets, karmic family, right? My phone just buzzed. And these are things that you're just like, but I'm not with the shit, so we're not going to be doing that over here. Right? What do you mean you won't sweep it under the rug? What do you mean? What do you mean you won't just let it be? What do you mean? Just move on. Just pretend it never happened. That you could do that, but there's always going to be that anger, that resentment, that bitterness, that pain, that trauma, right? And then it gets layered, and then it gets layered, and then it gets layered, and then one day something happens, and then you have no idea why you can't, why you're afraid of the church basement or some shit like that. I don't know. That's just, or why you're afraid to go into the store by yourself. All right. But I'm just, listen, I gotta put a trigger warning onto this. So it's really sad because a lot of women and around the world, not just your family, but there's always a story about how a family member did this or did that, did this, you know, and the families protect, like they, whatever happened to the victim, it gets swept under the rug, and then the predator, they're just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Oh, let's do it, right? It's like everybody acts like nothing happened, like something terrible didn't just happen, right? Like everybody acts like that's not a predator and that's not a victim. It's like, you guys, you can't do that anymore. It's 2025. You cannot sweep things under the rug anymore, right? So you have a lot of women, even men too, so maybe this could be for divine masculines as well. So this could be for divine masculines as well. They're not, this new generation of people that have been healing and, you know, going towards their highest good, they're not with this anymore. This is not allowed. Alright, I'm gonna get one more. Wait, what is that? My phone is going off. I gotta check on it. But it's all the way over yonder. The letter M, somebody first, last, middle, initial name of a word or a place. I feel like there's something about money here. I gotta, hold on. I just got like a notification on my phone from like this shopping app. And the top says, we love your style, with a heart. That's funny. Thank you. Yeah, so there's something about money here. So I feel like the reason why things are being always swept under the rug is because, like, if everybody acknowledges the elephant in the room, like that's a predator, that's a victim, then obviously their police reports and money and jail and this and that and this and that, they lose their job, their reputation, right? And if that person is married, then, you know, if this is like way back in the day, then the wife becomes like destitute, and then she's gonna have to get a job, and woe is her, and right, and it's your fault because you put my husband in jail, or you put your brother in jail, or you put your cousin in jail, or you put your uncle, whatever. All right, so a lot of it really comes down to money, that financial stability, and people don't want to lose that, so they'll sweep it under the rug and be like, oh, that's not a predator, that's not a victim, nothing happened, ha ha ha, let's all have a family party. So it's things like that, because really it's money. Nobody wants to lose their money, right? Nobody wants to, it's, you see? But now it's like, if you touch me, I'm telling. Right? So be careful, because we not with the shits in 2025. So it's like that. So that's why I feel like it's just the way you're healing and the way things are being done with this new generation of divine feminines, and I feel like there's more divine feminines popping up than ever before. Because it's like, you know your power, you know your ground, you know what you can do, you know what you will accept, what you won't accept, and this is not, no, absolutely not. For some of you, if you do have a spirit baby, you're not accepting this because you have to protect your spirit baby. For some of you, you could be protecting yourselves. For some of you, you're healing your wound because you're about to have a spirit baby. So you cannot be with the shits. I love that phrase. I'm just not with the shits. I love that. That's so fun to say. All right. Someone could be having problems with their teeth. On my phone, my battery percent is 55, and I just looked at this card. It says 5. That's another 555. Oh, and there's 555 in this candle right here. Look. See? 555. There's a big change happening with women, but in a positive aspect. Like, they're not sitting idly by anymore and shutting up. Sweeping things under the rug? No, ma'am. Accepting that pain? No, sir. Right? Hold on. Five of Swords. Someone's being very petty. I also feel like someone will stop at nothing to make sure that their money is secured, their reputation is secured, right? Their stability is secured. I'm also hearing someone say, if you say something, you're going to be caught too. But that's a man saying that to a woman. A man is saying to a woman, if you say something, then you're going to get in trouble too. That's a man saying something to a woman. So there could be like a man who would be like the predator or something, saying that to a woman who like knows of something. I'm also hearing this man say, be careful what you say. Be careful what you say, because if you say that, you're going to get in trouble too. It's a whole conversation. Five of Swords, Eye of Hell, God the highest being. Look, God is judging, or there's this angel judging these two people. And like, it's a man and a woman. There's a man and a woman being judged harshly for something. There's a man and a woman. God, oh. Alright, desire to know. The acquisition of wisdom. Yeah. Something really, really bad was done for money to children or to a child or to the woman in your family or whatever. I'm not saying whatever out of like disrespect. I'm just saying like, because I'm trying to Move along, right? Move along, move along. So I feel like, but there could be like this couple, this man and this woman, and the woman wants to say something, but the man is like, be careful what you say, because if you say something, you're gonna get in trouble too. Just because you say something doesn't mean you're not gonna have any repercussions, but you were there, or you know, or well, like, you're gonna get in trouble too. But it doesn't matter. And I feel like the only reason why the woman would want to say something is because she feels like it would lessen her karma, or lessen the blow to her like judgment. But it's not, because look, they're both being casted out by this angel. God's like, take them out, cast them out, and this angel's like, okay, say less, get out. But really, please, why? Just one more, please. And the woman is like, but I was just trying to get out. Right? Like, get out. That's horrible. Desire to know. Desire to know. The acquisition of wisdom. Somebody also, there could be this mature man. Remember how in the beginning of the reading I said that there's a mature man that's been watching your healing journey and just sitting back idly wide, like watching by, just kind of like a spectator energy? It's this mature man. This mature man has been realizing and trying to figure out why something was done for money. Like what is the reason? What is the reason? What is the reason? The whys, the hows, the whos, the whens. Even there's something very particular about the whens. When was this done? She's fine, right? This could be like an investigator that's been investigating, right? Just figuring things out, connecting the dots, researching, right? What was done, what was for money. Your karmic family members did something for money, blah, 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 blah. This has always been a cycle. I'm also getting sacrificial lamb. Like you were, oh, that's gross. There's like a, alright, I gotta move on. I feel like I'm under a microscope right now. The Magician reverse. Yeah, somebody's doing magic on your womb. Divine Feminines. You have women in your family doing magic on your wombs, because you being in this Divine Feminine energy affects all of them. It brings everything to the light. If you're healed, if you're happy, if you're manifesting, if you're creating, if you're abundant, if you're blessed, that really exposes something in the family, a dark family secret. It brings it to the light. But you don't have to do anything. Just keep healing, because there's a man that's investigating these people. There's a man that's sitting back watching these people scramble. You don't have to do anything. Just keep healing. But there's an investigator. They're looking at this. They're watching this. They're done, or they have been watching this for a while. Oh my gosh. I just heard someone say, pero como va a ser? But that's in Spanish for, like, how can that be? Why did it come out in Spanish, though? Yeah, someone is saying, how can that be? How can that be? But it's like a conversation between two women. There's one woman shocked in disbelief, and they're saying to another woman, how can that be? How can that be? But in Spanish, it just sounds better in Spanish. I think that's why it came out that way. But in Spanish, it says, but in Spanish, it comes out as, pero como va a ser? Pero como va a ser? But it's just so funny how that comes out, because it's like, it just sounds more dramatic in Spanish. It just does, right? That's why I feel like, there's like these memes about this like telenovela, right? And you know how like shows have subtitles, right? And when they're saying something in another language, the subtitles will translate it to English. But there's like these memes. This one lady, I really gotta look her up, because they turned her into a lot of memes. It's so funny. And there's like this one meme, so when she's crying, the subtitles says cries in Spanish. It's so funny. Or when she's like yelling, the subtitle says yells in Spanish. Or there's this one where she's like holding a gun, right? Because like, I don't know, whatever happened, right? And the subtitle says holds gun in Spanish. And it's just so funny. It's so dramatic. Oh man, I love it. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Pero como va a ser? That's basically, how can that be, but in Spanish? My phone's been going off. What in the world? Hold on. Oh wow, they came out together. Seven of Swords reverse, Ace of Cups upright. Somebody got caught. There's people in your family that are getting caught, that are exposed. There could be two people, this man and this woman in your family that have been getting caught, or that are caught. Or there's these women. Alright, it's a lot. So there are two women that are having a conversation because two other people are being, or are about to be, or on the brink of being exposed and discovered, right? And that's why they're so shocked. How can that be? How can that be? So there are two women having a conversation about two other people in your family. Ace of Cups. So I feel like what they're shocked about is, how can that be? They're in the Ace of Cups energy, right? Which is your, did I read? Yeah, I did read that. They're shocked that not only are you healing, but you're still full of love. You're nurturing, you're kind, you're generous, you're receiving new opportunities, new things. Like, you're still new friendships, new loving friendships, new loving relationships. Like, you actually love life. You're blah, 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 right? How can that be that they're in that energy? How can that be? How can that be? We went through the same things they did, and we're not in the energy. How can that be? Pero ¿cómo va a ser? It's so dramatic. It's so... I'm telling you, Spanish can be so dramatic. Oh, man, it's great. All right. Ace of Cups, upright. Nithael, God, the King of Heaven. I'm also getting... Something is... These women let their cup of love be taken away from them. They, like, succumb to their negativity, their hurt, their pain, their traumas. They let themselves succumb to that. Like, they kind of just, like, gave up. They gave in and gave up. Right? So it's kind of like, if you're not going to love yourself, then I can't give you this blessing right now. Because you're not going to love yourself enough to maintain this, right? You're not going to love yourself enough to hold on to it, to water it, to grow it, to make it bigger. So that way you can, and then, you know, pour into other things, other people, other, you know? If you can't pour into yourself, how can you expect to pour, you know? So I do feel like they got, a cup was taken away from them because they just weren't in the energy, or they weren't ready to love themselves, right? And so, and I feel like they're really shocked because it's like, you could have gone through something similar, or you also had trauma, or you also had pains or whatever, and how do you still have your cup of love? How do you still love yourself? How can you still love life? How can you still be blessed? How can you still be having opportunities? How can, you know, what do you mean you're not scared? What do you mean you're not bitter and corrupted and tainted? What do you mean? Pero ¿cómo va a ser? Right? Ace of Cups, Nithael, God, the King of Heaven, rejuvenation, obtains the mercy of God and gives long life. And then we have Seven of Swords, Monacal, God, nurturing and maintaining everything. Knowledge of good and evil appeases divine anger, cures epilepsy. Yeah. So, this angel is holding a crown of thorns. I'm getting like two things with this. I feel like they don't have to hold on to these. So, Jesus, right? Jesus wore a crown of thorns because it was like a sort of punishment, right? But Jesus did that, right? He literally went through a whole crucifixion so that way God's children did not have to carry burdens that aren't theirs, carry pain that they don't have to carry pain, worries, woes, etc., so on and so forth, right? So you have women in your family, it could be men too, But you have women in your family that are willingly, it's like, give me the crown of thorns. It's like they want to be chastised, or like they're doing it to themselves. And it's just like, God's like, I can't give you this cup if you're going to be wearing that crown of thorns when you don't even have to. You don't have to. Meanwhile, all you divine feminines, you're like, this crown of thorns is not mine. I don't have to wear that. But no. Jesus wore it. God said, I don't have to. I'm free from burdens and struggles and blah, blah, blah. I don't have to. That's not my crown. I'm good. I'm good on that. Thanks. And a lot of divine feminines, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot more divine feminines now, today, than there ever was in history. Because I just feel like we're not with the shits. Alright? So, I think I'm going to end the reading there. What's on the bottom? 4 of Cups. Mother how. This 7 of Swords, and this card, I think, came out earlier. But it came out reverse because I picked it up like that. 4 of Cups reverse, Mother how. The God deflecting evil. Healing capacity, protection from weapons, safety, and travels. Yeah, you're in that energy. Like, I'm not with the 4 of Cups reverse. You divine feminines, could be divine masculines too. You divine feminines are in the energy like, I'm not about to waste my life being miserable, being in pain, suffering, afraid, hating, mad at the world because of what happened to me when I was this, or what happened to me, whatever. Or like, I also feel like there are people in your family that expects you to hold yourself back because they're in pain. Like, I'm not sorry, but I'm not gonna be mad at the world because your father did blah blah blah, or your sibling did blah blah blah. It's just, that's just not fair. That's not right. Take that how you want to take that, but like, I'm just telling you, like, you don't, you're not gonna be missing out on your life, opportunities, love, friendships, careers, chances, doors, windows. You're not. You're taking that crown off because, first of all, that's not even, Jesus did that already. You're free. You're good. Take it off, right? You're not about to be doing that. And, you're going to be healing those wounds. And a lot of those wounds, for some of you, nothing could have even happened to you. You could have had a normal childhood, but it's those wounds that were carried by your mothers and your fathers and your great-grandmothers and your aunts and your uncles, and they be putting that onto you, right? A fresh, clean canvas, untainted. Here, take my pain so I don't have to. We're not doing that. That's not happening anymore, right? So some of you could have had like a fine childhood, but there's always that weird aunt, or always that, or maybe your mom always, every time you're around her, you're just like, oh my God, I just dread the moments being around them, and you're an adult. You don't have to. Bye.